Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Better Call Saul. Last time on Better Call Saul, we finished up Season 5 with Something Unforgivable, which is an interesting title for it. So basically, Jimmy and Kim went to a hotel after the whole thing with Lalo, and they laid low a little bit, and then... However, when Kim went back to court, she was met by Howard, and Howard was like, yo, I was accosted by prostitutes, and bowling balls were thrown by Jimmy. I know it was Jimmy. And Kim laughed at it and was like, all right, so what are we going to do next, you know? We got to do something next, and they want to basically pin Howard for something unforgivable. Something that could ruin him, but could be very good for everybody else because it would mean the end of Sandpiper. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing that they're going to do. Meanwhile, Nacho was able to get the door at or the gate at Lalo's house open, and he escaped. And the assassins came in. Tried to kill Lalo, but Lalo was too good, you know, because he's a ninja. And yeah, he managed to kill all of them, and however, he left one alive just long enough to call the people that employed him, i.e. Gus, and say that that basically it was a success. So Lalo is now a ghost, which is interesting. And yeah, so... yeah, interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff for the finale. Today, we are moving on into the final season of Better Call Saul. Man, I'm going to miss this so much. Like, honestly, I'm going to miss Better Call Saul so much. And I said the same thing at the end of Breaking Bad, you know? And then we took that little break before Better Call Saul. But I'm really going to miss this because these shows, they're fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And honestly, see, I don't know. I feel I want to say that I think I actually like Better Call Saul more, but I don't know. I'll have to look at both of these shows once I'm through them all, you know? And that's going to be a little bit because despite the fact that this is the final season, we've got 13 episodes. This season's running longer than the previous 5. So yeah, we've got quite a ways to go. Because this is the first episode of this season, the full-length reaction is available for free. So if you want to watch my full unedited reaction to this episode of Better Call Saul, what you gotta do is head down in the description or into the pinned comment. There'll be a link there. You click it, it'll take you over to my Patreon page. But remember, this is completely free. And basically what you gotta do is sync up your copy of this episode of Better Call Saul to my basically unedited reaction footage. So there's no show footage. You'll have to bring your own because I literally cannot give you that. No amount of Saul Goodman is going to allow me to do that, you know? But yeah, I've made it as easy as possible. Normally, I watch these on Netflix. However, this season is not yet on Netflix at time of recording this. So I've actually gone over to Amazon and bought it there. So I'm watching this on Amazon. I doubt, though, if you're watching it anywhere else, it's going to be that different. So you can sync it up. I've made it as easy as possible. You can watch it, have a good time, and when you're done with that, you can come back to this YouTube video for the discussion, which I always highly encourage that you do. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Stick around here on the YouTube video. In about 10 seconds or so, the normal edited reaction will start up. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we're going for this final season. But first off, I think we got to go see our old pal Gene, see what he's up to. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Better Call Saul. Here we go. Oh god. Well, they're already starting with the music, which is good. Oh my god, so many ties. Oh, some of these ties have color now. Oh man, kind of starting with color, that's weird. This isn't Gene. Whose house is this? This isn't like See, I don't know. I can't, like, place it. Oh my god, though. That shower... Dude. That shower is almost the size of my room. Oh my god, that toilet. Oh. It says Saul Goodman, and it says... Is that actually where Saul lived in Breaking Bad? Are you kidding me? Oh no! The bottle cap! The topper. Oh god. Oh my god, it's so bad now! There's barely any color to that. It's degraded so much. That's where Saul and Kim lived?
Stay out of sight. We're fixing up a place for you to lie low. In an hour, you put the battery back in, and I'll call you and tell you where to go.
Alright. Man, I hope Nacho has a watch. So are we gonna talk about this? Apparently not. Maybe she's gonna, like, get it fixed or something. The cab driver's like, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was a great shot, but sad. I thought she might, like, at least try to get it fixed. She probably... Maybe she'll just go get another. Oh, I hate this. Ah. This is the guy who was left over. Which, I realized later, it wasn't that his mask was glued to his face, it was that was the grease guy. Oh, the twins? Yeah, the twins are looking for Lalo, aren't they? Yeah, they all know not to mess with those two, I would imagine. Wait, which one was that? Was that the kid? Unless they don't think that's Lalo, do they?
But who did this?
1 minute I hear talk of the Colombians, the next traders. Traders close to home.
So they think that body is Lalo,
Nacho
then.
Varga is a rat. Don Eladio has put a price on his head. Every man we have is searching for him.
Nah.
I assume Don Hector has been told.
I called him myself. As for if he understood me, quién sabe.
Nah.
Listen to me. You must be careful, Gustavo. This is a dangerous time.
No one is above suspicion.
Nah.
I understand.
Loyalty goes both ways. Varga's done everything you asked him.
He wasn't given a choice.
Maybe so, but he played a tough game.
And he played it.
He played it on the square.
He did everything he should.
And
When all is said and done, the kid deserves your respect.
he has it. Is there more you wish to say?
Just let the boy go.
I think the family was fake. And I think you knew it the whole time.
Hold up. Let's
Well,
just get real for a second.
You can't prove that, I
The
don't
hearing didn't
think.
go your way. Here's an accusation. Prosecutorial misconduct. Career-ending prosecutorial misconduct.
None of that changes.
The look on her
fact
face
guy's
is, the
not who he
fuck
said
did
he
this
was.
bitch just say to
hold
me?
on. And it's my fault you can't keep track of Lalo? That is not my job!
Lalo? Who's Lalo?
What? What did I say?
Sorry, getting clients mixed
I
up.
have more than one client. So, I will see you
Eh,
at the
quick
preliminary
save.
in 6 weeks.
El Camino? What? Yo, there's an El Camino restaurant?
Nice threads.
Thanks.
Was he keeping the suit?
Can we get a menu and another order of sopapillas?
You got it.
And there was a homeless woman that I had to get out of
sopapillas.
MDC.
Fucking sopapillas. I used to eat those when I was a kid. I haven't had one in a
Sounds
while.
like the day from hell.
It was one of the best days of my life.
Nah.
My professional life.
She was making a difference. I do this a lot nowadays.
So Saul Goodman drives a brown Ford,
Brown?
and Saul Goodman has an office. Something eye-catching. Good location.
By the courthouse.
Yeah. A cathedral of justice.
Oh,
No.
Cathedral of Justice.
She comes up with
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I was thinking about our first move. On the Howard front?
Don't! That's not a
I think there's
thing.
a way to get- We're not working on Howard. Not at first. Maybe we start with Cliff, Maine.
So,
Now this is extended to Cliff.
we're doing that?
I thought we were. Aren't we?
I thought we were talking.
The Howard thing. What were you thinking?
You sure?
Nah.
What's the harm in listening?
Well,
The problem is, you're gonna do it.
it has to be paced right.
Oh, God. Ugh. That has to be disgusting, man. That's probably from a sewer. No. Like, my mind just went 1,000 different ways when I saw that tricycle, but I don't think it's what I'm thinking.
What happens between now and then?
Stay out of sight. Ladio put a price in your head. Anyone comes through that door, you shoot. You got it?
Yeah.
So he has to just hang out there for, like, 3 days?
When it's finished, it'll work.
Okay.
May I please have some more lemonade?
No, you drink about a gallon already.
Please, Pop Pop.
Did they have to recast Kaylee?
One more, and that's it.
Thank you, Pop Pop.
They might have. It's been 2 years, so... No? Oh, Nacho tried to call Mike. I wonder if there is no actual farm truck. If they're just gonna leave Nacho for dead.
You gotta teach me to play golf. A lawyer should be able to play golf.
Anytime.
I don't think it's that difficult to learn. Says the guy who's never played golf, except like on the Wii. Ooh, Jimmy looking snazzy AF today. I like the no-tie look.
Saul, you and I are standing on hallowed ground. 5
Uh-oh,
residents have played
that's
a
Kevin
number of
Wachtel.
starting with Dwight D. Eisenhower. But the story goes back even further than that.
Norman, can I have a sec, please?
Kevin, hey, how's it going?
I'm sorry. I'm sure this will just be a moment.
Does that throw a wrench into the plans?
Maybe I could go on the tour anyway. I mean, because I'm here, just in case.
Well, unfortunately, we suspended tours for the moment.
You're not even giving tours.
I apologize for the inconvenience.
Fucking Kevin Wachtel.
Be happy to call you if the situation changes.
Even though he's completely justified in his hatred of Saul Goodman.
I came in and everyone was rolling out the red carpet.
Oh,
and all of
no.
a sudden, something changed.
There's no question.
Here it is, folks. Anti-Semitism, alive and well, right here in Albuquerque.
Sir, we have
Because
many
he's...
Jewish members.
Oh, good. Well, you met your quota then. Gold star for you.
Because of the Goodman
Cool.
thing.
Gentlemen, can we just keep the volume down?
You know damn well that's not what I
In
meant.
this day and age, I'd hoped and prayed we'd be beyond this.
You're about as Jewish as my Aunt Fanny.
5,000 years and it never ends.
The...
Here it is, violence. It always comes to this.
Mr. Wachtel, please.
Come on, Kev.
Sir, Mr. Goodman, I don't know what to say. That is not...
I wouldn't be a member here. I wouldn't walk through those doors again after what happened to me here today.
God damn you, Jimmy.
I want you to know I don't blame you personally. I know you were just following orders. It's okay, folks. I'm leaving.
He was just
All is
following
well.
orders. Well, good job, Jimmy, you dick. Man, because that's the thing. That's the thing. You root for Jimmy because he's Jimmy. He's our protagonist. You just want to keep him. But you completely understand why Kevin hates him. I can't believe he brought back the Jew thing, too. Because I remember that when he was first introduced. It's like, yeah, the Jew thing I just do for the homeboys. This is the goofiest shot of Kim Wexler I've ever seen. Oh my god. What is this? Oh no. Oh no, they're not playing. Oh no.
Shit. I swear it's nothing I did, but one of your toilets is...
I'll take care of it, sir.
Okay, it's the middle one. You can't miss it.
No problem, sir.
This poor guy. I just want to hear him be like, oh god, it's everywhere! Hamlin, 227. Oh, he's gonna go mess with his locker or something? Abort! Jimmy didn't come all this way for nothing.
Hey.
Hey.
Look over at a naked man. Hey!
Nothing I care to repeat. Just trust, but verify.
Yeah, it's good to see Cliff Main here.
Howard?
What?
Oh my god.
This can't be.
Sure looks like it.
Really?
Not the first time I've seen one of those, unfortunately.
Well, where did it come from?
Did it just fall out of your locker? Maybe somebody on staff.
They're starting small, but that just puts something into Cliff's mind.
I think maybe we outsmarted ourselves. Maybe this was all too subtle.
Nope. Not too subtle. Perfect.
Oh, they just planted a seed of doubt within Cliff Main.
Tío. Tío, ¿me escucha? ¿Reconoce mi voz? ¿Le dijeron sobre el atentado, tío? Que sigan pensando que estoy muerto, tío. Mejor así. Yo fue el pollero.
Ah.
A, B, C.
God, it's gonna hurt her arm keeping that up there.
¿Prueba? ¿Prueba es lo que quiere decir? Sí hay una prueba.
What proof?
Y sé dónde encontrarla. Adiós, tío. Me va a ver pronto.
Ah.
Amigos, lo siento, pero van a tener que encontrar otra manera de llegar al norte. Abuela, usted encárguese de que todos reciban su dinero. Cuidado.
Well, they at least got a refund. He's headed back. Is that just gonna be it? Yep. Alrighty. Oh boy, that is episode 1. Alrighty. Season 6, episode 1. No Gene. No Gene. This is the first time where the season did not start with Gene. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But what we did start with, I think, was still a vision from the future, from the time of Breaking Bad, and that is Saul's house. Saul's house. Now, we don't know if it was Saul and Kim's house, but we can definitely be sure that was Saul's house. So the only thing I can think is, with the 100 thou that, which, I mean, yes, they're using it, but the 100 thou he got from Lalo, that I assume is where the Cadillac and the office are going to come in. And I have to assume that he's going to get his Cadillac and he's going to get the Saul Goodman and Associates office that we see in Breaking Bad. Honestly, I expect that we catch up to Breaking Bad in this season, And maybe I should go ahead and say, disclaimer, while I don't know really what happens, ish, and we'll talk about that as we go along, but I do know two characters who are going to be in this season of Better Call Saul. So we'll go ahead and mention that. There are a couple things that I should go ahead and disclaim that I know about already. However, and we'll talk about them as they happen in the show. What I will go ahead and say is, though I may know stuff, understand that I don't know context. And I think that's very important. And I always try to mention this when I do these disclaimers, if I happen to know something, is I generally never know context of things that happen. If I know something happens, I don't know any of the story that leads there. And honestly, it makes the thing that happens all the more impactful, I think, Well, maybe not all the more impactful, but just as impactful as if I didn't know. It just basically means just a tiny bit of the shock is unfortunately gone. But hey. So yes, I do know a couple things that may or may not be happening in this season of Better Call Saul. However, I don't know any of the context around it. I really just don't know when it's going to happen or what's going to happen. But I'm curious. I'm very curious how it's going to happen. And I'm going to be right there. I'm still going to be emotional as it happens. So, is it unfortunate that this happens? Yes. But this also happened... one of the biggest times this happened was in Attack on Titan. There was a character that I knew basically what their fate was going to be because I had seen it, accidentally, like on Twitter or something. And it's always by accident. I never try to see this stuff, So I had seen it, but when it actually happened in the episode, I was like, oh, crap, this is it. And I was still as, emotional as I probably would have been, So, that's the disclaimer I always like to give when I know stuff like this. Because then I like there to be that sort of, transparency or, that trust between reactor and viewer. Because, yeah, I don't want to sit here and fake reactions or anything or be like, oh my god, I didn't know that happened. I don't want to fake that. So, I want you to understand where I'm coming from on some of this. So, with that said, I fully expect that we are going to catch up to Breaking Bad in this season. And yeah, I do know that, but I mean, it's sort of the same thing of, early in Better Call Saul, I knew Gus was going to show up at some point, And that one's kind of obvious. That one's kind of obvious that they would bring back Gus, but pretty much before season 3, I knew Gus was coming back, But yeah, so either way, I'm excited for when that gets there, but for now, we've got this, and I'm excited to see when Saul gets his Cadillac, which is hilarious because that car, there wasn't too much major significance to that car in Breaking Bad, but now we're just, we're waiting for, I feel like there was more significance to the office. Saul's office in Breaking Bad is honestly iconic, It's one of the iconic locations in Breaking Bad, the White House, the White House, the lab, the RV, definitely, It's one of those iconic, important locations. the car is also a bonus, you know? But yeah, we saw... So that was Saul's house. Because, yeah, they never showed Saul's house in Breaking Bad. And now we know that it... Basically, so what I can only assume is that after ruining Howard, they do get the money from Sandpiper. Or at the very least, Sandpiper has to be settled, you know? Sandpiper has to be settled, and Saul uses that money to buy this ridiculous house that, you know, has all these crazy, ridiculous rooms. And I love that it also has a hidden room as well, you know? I love that it also has a hidden room. And then, you know, this ridiculous giant shower and this, you know, golden toilet on a pedestal, basically. Like, that's hilarious, but that's the house that Saul wanted. It had an indoor pool and everything, so they are definitely going to be making bank off of Sandpiper, you know? And honestly, considering his office, you know, while yes, it's fancy, that wouldn't take too much money, I don't think, and especially with the location, it was in a strip mall, you know? He had an office at a strip mall, you know, and the biggest thing about that office was just, you know, the Constitution wallpaper and the, you know, foam pillars he had, you know? But other than that, it really wasn't too extravagant, so I can see, you know, them, or at least Saul, pooling all of his money into that ridiculous house, you know? Now, the question is, did Kim live at that house, you know? What happened to Kim? Was Kim there during Breaking Bad? We don't know. We honestly do not know. But I'm curious. I'm very curious about that. And all of this stems from messing with Howard. And I love that going into the final season, that is our big plot for Jimmy and Kim. But I can only assume that with, you know, where this has to go, I mean, I have to assume this will tie back somehow to Lalo. Or at the very least that Jimmy will get dragged back into the Lalo story, you know? Because that, I feel like, is more of the actual main plot than messing with Howard. But I have to think that even if, you know, they succeed with Sandpiper and everything, I almost have to assume that something just has to go wrong. It has to go wrong to where we never see Howard again and we never see Kim again, you know? Oh, boy. But yeah, so this, I mean, it's all predicated on screwing with Howard. And now it's interesting, you know, it's interesting that Jimmy, in order to disguise himself, he just got completely naked and then, you know, had the towel and was like, hey, you know, just to disguise himself. But honestly, well, I guess, why would you be toweling yourself if you have, you know, your suit on? But yeah, so he had to disguise himself. But it's interesting that Howard doesn't immediately think that this is Jimmy again, you know? Because he figured out... I mean, maybe it's just that he will figure it out, you know? That... I mean, I don't know. Will he figure it out? I mean, he figured out the bowling balls and the prostitutes, and he knew that it was Jimmy, but will he figure out that this was also Jimmy, you know? So, I don't know. But yeah, so first off, going to the gentleman's club, and getting that nice fancy suit. You know, there's something about a suit without a tie that actually looks really nice, you know? Like, that no tie, and then you kind of keep this a little open, it looks good. It looked good on him, you know? And Bob Odenkirk rocking that friggin' suit. But then, going in, and it was going to be as simple as just, you know... It was going to be as simple as just going in, getting the tour, and then, you know, oh, I need to go to the bathroom and stuff. But then here comes Kevin Wachtel. Kevin Wachtel and his, I got a, But, and it's like I said in the reaction, you want to be like, friggin', Kevin Wachtel, he's screwing with Jimmy's plans and stuff. But Jimmy's plans are to ruin an innocent man for money, and that's almost what he did pretty much with Kevin Wachtel. It's like, it's exactly the thing of, look, yes, I acknowledge that what I'm rooting for is not good, I acknowledge that I shouldn't be rooting for Jimmy. Nobody should be rooting for Jimmy. Jimmy is an asshole, and nobody should ever like him. But he's the protagonist of the show, so I root for him, I've had 5 seasons with him in this show alone, plus what he had in Breaking Bad. And so I just, you want to keep him, you want to root for him. And so when Kevin Wachtel walks over and and it's like, screw this guy. But Kevin Wachtel is completely justified. And I love how I love how Jimmy turns that around too, because he uses anti-Semitism, like, because it's Goodman, and that's the thing, back when he first meets Walt, he says, it's like, so you're, because when he's in disguise as Badger's uncle is like, fellow potato eater, my real name's McGill. The Jew thing I just do for the homeboys, So yeah, he used that, and he was like, this is anti-Semitism at work, and yeah, just riling up Kevin Wachtel to the point that, yeah, he got the, director or whatever on his side, so. Oh, boy. Oh, that was great. That was absolutely great. And then, yeah, he went in, flooded the bathrooms. That poor guy that's gonna have to clean all that up, But he did that just so he can get to the lockers and plant baby powder, but it looks like meth. And yeah, Howard is Cliff Main. I love that this is all. It's always based on getting Cliff Main to think differently about Howard, It's a great use of Cliff Main, But I do like that. It's all to, plant that seed of doubt in Cliff Main. If you're wondering why I'm holding this comb, it's because there's a part of my hair that just wants to stick up today, so I'm trying to get that in the camera here, so. Okay, looks good. I know I don't comb my hair on camera as often anymore, but yeah. Anyway, but it's all to plant the seeds of doubt within Cliff Main, and it worked. Meanwhile, at things that feel important, Nacho ran through Mexico for a day. He definitely looks a lot better than when Mike and Saul walked through, but presumably he wasn't going through the desert. He was just going north, But yeah, so that was interesting. And he made it to the motel, but the whole thing of, in a few days we're going to get you out of there, like, that doesn't sound good. It's like, just like stay there in one place for a few days while we have a hit on you. Like, what? No. And I'm wondering if he called Mike. He tried calling Mike because he questions it. He's like, I don't think they're trying to save me, He has doubts about Gus saving him. And, yeah, Mike ignored the call, but he ignored the call, but it definitely, he had this look of like, fuck, I probably shouldn't do something, but I feel like maybe I should do something, And then meanwhile, Lalo is a ghost, and he has to stay a ghost. Lalo has to stay a ghost, and in order to do that, yeah, he had to just kill his own people, which is unfortunate. And man, he made that guy shave too. And that's the thing, he's a freaking really long beard. He's like, oh, go shave for Don Eduardo. So he shaved the whole thing off. Like, man, that's freaking crazy. Just because he gotta look good, you know? But he kept the mustache and the soul patch, which is what Lalo likes. So, but yeah, he has to stay a ghost. But then he was able to call Hector, which was good. He was able to call Hector and tell him he's still alive, and he knows it's Gus. And now we've got Lalo at the same point that Hector was at. You know, fuck Bolsa, fuck Eladio. You know, we're not gonna let this stand. And yeah, so Hector's plan, interestingly, is find proof that Gus did this. And Lalo knows there is at least something there. So yeah, what that will be, I don't know, but I'm very, very curious. So yeah, really, really good stuff. Even though honestly, it's so weird we didn't see anything of Jean, you know? Wondering if maybe we got to build up to Jean, you know? Maybe because I said like, oh, well, I assume we're going to be catching up to Breaking Bad this season. I almost wonder if maybe this ends with Jean, you know? I mean, I feel like that would be poetic, you know, starting with Jean and ending with Jean, you know, because this is about, you know, yes, it's a prequel to Breaking Bad, it's a show about Jimmy McGill, you know, and showing him at multiple points in his life, you know? So I could see ending the season with Jean, but yeah, it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. I like when they would, you know, cut to Jean, even back like in the earlier seasons when we really didn't see a lot, you know, like only recently season 3 is when, was it season 4? No, season 3 I remember it ends with Jean passing out, but I don't remember what happened beforehand. Oh no, what happened was Jean, there's the kid who's like shoplifting, and Jean's like, oh, don't say anything, get a lawyer, and then when he goes back to work, he passes out. Top of season 4, everything's good at the hospital, he gets out of there, that's when he gets into the taxi. Season 5 is when, after the thing with the taxi, Jean he lays low for a little while, but when he goes back, that's when he's noticed by Discount Steven Weber. And then he calls Ed, but then decides, no, I'm going to take care of this myself. But now we don't know where that's going. We don't know where that's going because they didn't do anything with Jean at the top of this episode. So yeah, but I mean, even back, I still liked it, you know, back season 1, I mean, the first scene with Jean was always, you know, good. This just shows, you know, where Saul is. Season 2 didn't really, like, add too much, but it was still good. I still like those scenes. So not having a scene with Jean is interesting, and it obviously it's a choice that, like, okay, we're going to come back to Jean much later, you know, or at least just not right now, you know. So yeah, and I know this season is also broken up because it's 13 episodes instead of the normal 10. I know this season is broken up into pretty much a part 1 and a part 2. They took a break halfway through the show. So I'll be curious if maybe sometime around like the mid-season finale, which is what happened with Breaking Bad, if sometime around the mid-season finale, we'll get that sort of, we'll get a scene with Jean. I hope so, because I'm curious. I'm curious what he's going to do. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Good, strong opening to the season, and I'm curious to see where we are going from here. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Better Call Saul reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Breaking Bad reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.